Running fans, jumping fans, throwing fans, all around athletics fans, welcome to Talking in Ovals. How is everybody doing out there on this Monday, June 1st, 2026, episode number 194? Hyatt, we made it to June. How are you?
We did, man. We're almost at episode 200.
Yeah, and we have not prepared a damn thing for that. We're not going to lie. We want to do this grandiose thing. We need to get on that. We have to
Yes,
stop sucking, Dave.
agreed. Hey, man. All I know is that is here in NJ, man. It is Meet a Champs week, Wednesday. It all goes down. Pennsauken. It's gonna be a blast, man. It's supposed to be great, great weather, and we're just gonna go. And it's all about times now, man.
How
Let's go.
awesome is it going to be to watch Siani win at home doing her swan song at her final meet of champs? Just
Hey,
no, it's not her final. She's a junior, right?
no, she's a senior.
She's a senior, so her swan song is now, and she's gonna kill it.
She's gonna go down. I think as the best to ever do it here in NJ. She's gonna
Yeah.
have more titles than anyone. She's gonna I think between now and Nats, she's gonna get all the state records, and she's one of a kind, man. I mean, do you have her? I mean,
I'm excited for her.
the girls meet champs is gonna be bonkers. It's like, like I think everyone's looking at that 800. Like, do Paige and Natalie both run it? I don't know.
I
We'll
mean, if
see.
you're Natalie Dumas, do you want to go back and try to do the triple again? Do you want to be the only runner in state history to do
She'll do
that
it.
mid-distance triple and try and get it again? Like that was
She'll do it.
insane. So we'll
No,
we'll see. It's
more
going to be
insane
fun.
is that she did that triple at nationals and won all three. That was the
So
most bizarre
ridiculous.
one.
So, wherever you're watching from, we appreciate it. Whether it is X, Facebook, YouTube, Kick, or Twitch, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Go follow us on the socials at Talking in Ovals. Now, Dave, I've decided I think I want to superimpose your face onto our little man that does the show will begin soon. I think I want to just superimpose you onto that. I think that would be
So
best.
that way so that when everyone sees it, they just immediately log off.
No, they're gonna be like, who is this stud? I definitely want to hang out and watch.
Who's the bald, gray-haired stud over there?
But last week we talked to James Logan. We had a great time. His
That was fun.
story is next level. Stage 4 cancer survivor for the second time now, cancer free, getting ready to go and compete in Ironman over in Kona. Been running Ironman for 30 years when he got diagnosed 2 years ago. Like it
It
was
was awesome.
insane. His
Fun.
story is so inspiring. If you have a chance to go back and give it a listen, I highly recommend you do. But today we are having our repeat guest that we love having on. This is a man that since we had him on, he's been nothing but friggin' busy. I don't know how he has the time to do anything. He's like the Ryan Seacrest of like track and field in our region, just going crazy, running meets, timing them, doing everything insane. Let's bring him in. He is Mr. Dave Alfano. He is a co-founder and co-owner of Trials of Miles Racing. Dave, what's going on, brother?
Not too much, man. Appreciate you guys bringing me on, and that I want to run through a wall after watching that opening sequence, man. That was super duper hype.
Love it.
Yeah,
Thank you.
big
Hard
fan of
work
what
there
you
to
guys are
put us
doing. Yeah,
together.
totally happy to be here.
But so we appreciate you having on. And we were talking, I looked it up. Your last time you were on with us, episode number 41. We weren't live, we were recording, and
Yep.
that's a little over 2 years ago now that we had you on. And since then, holy crap, Trials of Miles has
Well, my
taken off.
favorite part about that is the only reason that we had him on is because he and I got into a little debate on Facebook about the
I
four
remember
by a mile being like how I was like, this sucks. They're not running hard. He's like, that's a race. It was great, but it was great. But that's why we have this show so we can have debates and be civil and talk. And now he's doing his thing and he's back on again, and we're pumped to have him.
I remember that. I don't remember what we were arguing about.
I don't either.
Hopefully I wasn't an a-hole, but yeah, man, we're in a really fortunate position. Since 2 years ago, we've had a few hires that have allowed us to like explore new opportunities.
Yeah.
We've like stuck our toe in the road racing world, and a lot of new track stuff, a lot of new community stuff, East Coast, West Coast. I was in Florida last week doing a new high school event, so it's tough to turn down opportunities where you see, like you guys were talking a lot about high school track. There's so many opportunities still in different parts of the country to, you know, Florida, like New Balance Nationals is in a month. New Jersey Meet of Champs is this week. The Florida State meet was a month ago. So like there's different regions of I know which kind of makes it wacky to like really see some
California
top.
just ended off. I know that they just finished themselves. So I called you the
Definitely.
Ryan Seacrest of track
You're giving me
events. You're just everywhere.
a little bit too much credit, but yeah, there has been a lot. I mean, 2 years ago, I think we were probably doing it one event a month, and some months we're doing indoors. We went back to back to back like 8 or 9 weeks in a row.
That's awesome.
But it's
Hard
been a
work, but awesome.
it's been a fun ride. Yeah, but we have a team now that allows us to go and put some of these new events on. Whereas my partner and I were just like killing ourselves doing everything, lifting tables, doing heat sheets, all that stuff. And now we have a lot of talented people around us to make these things happen. So
Love it.
yeah,
Well,
it's been
especially with what you do, reputation is everything, right? If you work your ass off, then you run a good, solid meet. You take all the pressure off those who are paying you to do it, right? And the meet becomes something that what up, cat? And the meet
no,
becomes something that people want to see again next year. The people you work with enjoyed it. That word of mouth is huge, right? In terms, especially when you're starting off smaller, it's hey. I know people that can get this meet done. It's organized. It's great. Trials of miles. Like that's always awesome.
what I found coming into this world, this running world of road races and track, is that the bar was pretty low. Most road races, with all due respect, it was like for a beneficiary. It was usually like a committee that met a month out, and
Yep,
they
yep.
set some water tables out. And same thing with high school. Like most high school meets, even like the Meet of Champions, probably is a group of people that are probably not doing this for their full.
No,
I don't know. I don't know the NJSIA hierarchy, but it's usually just coaches volunteering their time. So we have a team when we're able to like take a step back 6 months out, and what do we want this to look like, and who's involved, and yeah, I think fortunately we've gotten it to a point where there is a little bit of a reputation piece, and people come to an event that's well organized, and maybe it has some bells and whistles and some announcers and music. And I think coaches really just want a time schedule that's stays
that's
on.
all the
But
coaches want. That's
Definitely
all the
helpful.
coaches want.
Definitely
Something that
helpful. Yes.
stays.
yeah. So
And it's funny because like 15 years ago, you didn't see meets that had like times next to them. Now, like meets are really trying to like stay on these time schedules, which is very, very, very helpful. Like, and they say like we won't go more than 10 minutes faster. I mean, sometimes they get backed up, but like it's just nice knowing that you can tell a kid, hey, show up at this time, and you don't have to worry about them getting there too early or late. So having that aspect has been very, very helpful.
definitely. But what I've found in the high school space now is, we were talking before we went on, there is a little bit of this shift for these meets where kids are being brought together to run fast. They're brought from other states that
Yeah.
might some might be in their state season, some might not be. Shoe brands are obviously eager to be involved in these kind of things. Oftentimes they're like USATF sanctioned, so kids are rocking different jerseys, and they're popping up everywhere, and kids are just running super fast. And I think what's
Yeah.
happening is like the bottom, whatever, 25-50% are running faster, the top's running faster. And I think high school track is just like at an all-time high in popularity right now. Even on
It's
the
booming. It is absolutely booming. Now, do you watch track meets at times that aren't yours and look at it and go, God, what are they doing? Because you've been doing it now for so long. Like, do you see certain things that were hiccups that maybe you found that you fixed that you're just like, oh, that's an easy fix, or why are they doing this? And like, have you found yourself doing that at all?
I mean, I don't look at other meets and judge, but I do go to I'm an Essex County guy. I go to the Essex County meet, and I
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
go say hi to friends and coaches
Sure.
that I was working with. And I'm definitely like, wow, this is like, maybe just throw some music on, maybe just
Mhm.
get an announcer trackside. It's definitely
It's
like,
little things, right? That make a huge difference.
yeah, but again, like I think a lot of these meets are being organized by groups of people that have really good intentions for the kids, but they can't pour hours and hours over every little detail, because a lot of them, I think, have other jobs.
Sure.
I don't
Yeah.
think most of
Yeah.
them are doing this full time. So no, I think the other way, I look at meets and I'm like, whoa, that's really cool. Like I think we need to incorporate that in our event. So I think it's
So
more
I
of like,
gotta say, One thing that drove me crazy, I was watching, I said this last week, and you're the perfect person to talk to about this. I forget, I think I was watching like the Big South Championship last week. Like it was like, just a small conference, not major one. But I threw it on my screen because every once in a while, if I see it, I pop it on. And of course, my daughters come and sit down. They're like, "Oh, Daddy, not track again." They're 8 and 6, and they're like, "Please." And I'm like, "Listen, I just want to watch a few heats, and then we're fine." Dave, when I tell you they were in between events, and it took damn near 8 minutes for them to get the next event off. And for me, I've always thought that high school, yes, you want to keep them a little more on time because high school kids are dumb. I love them, but they are not the best at getting where they need to be. They get distracted. College kids, they're adults. I feel like at these college and pro meets, there should be okay, you have 15 minutes. Within this 15 minutes, we could tell you to get on the line at any time. Be ready for this 15 minutes instead of this whole entire, oh, we have to be on time. We have to hear. No, there's a window. There will always be a window, and you need to be ready within. And the window can move a little as the meet goes. Because I think if you're a collegiate runner, a pro runner, if you're told you have a 20-minute window that competition can start, to be ready. You can be ready for 20 minutes. They do it at freaking Penn Relays. They keep people in there for an hour and then they go and they run amazing times, right? So, have you thought about flirting with something like that at like some of your higher? I get it. High school, you got to be a little more on it. But for like your college and some pro meets, about having more windows so we can like get the meet flowing faster and it's better for the fans to, have a little more consistency there.
College meets are brutal, man.
They
When we
drive me
when we
crazy.
when we did New Balance Nationals 2 years ago, the NCAA meet was, I think it was like NCAA meet, and then New Balance Nationals was right after, same venue. And I don't want to get in trouble and say names of like highly prominent NCAA athletes and their coaches and agents, but they were coming up to us and they were like, the NCAA meet was brutal. Like even at NCAA wrestling, they have like cold sparks and cool intros, but like the NCAA meet, there was like no energy. It was boring. There were 10 minutes in between. And like, there's a lot of bells and whistles at the New Balance National meet. We have like the cold sparks and the multiple announcers and the lights go off. And
Yeah.
like college, unfortunately, it's just so like it's such like a
Business-like.
business. It's such a business.
And you
And
would think at the NCAA level, they're running world marks. Like they are in the top 5 a
Sure.
lot of the times when they win like these events, some of them setting world leads at the time. So it's like it's legit. These are athletes will probably a few of them are going to be on the Olympic teams. So it's like this is where the name recognition starts, right? Tell them, all right, go strike a pose when you come out. Like Marco, go do something incredibly inappropriate as you walk out to represent your Jersey side. Like
ultimately, a guy can run 43 seconds in the 400, and outside of our
Yep.
track bubble,
Nobody knows.
nobody cares. And I don't know if this is an appropriate transition into potentially talking about a recent meet that was quite controversial, the enhanced games, but
we can certainly talk about it.
I watched that and like everyone hated on it because like nobody touched the world records. Everyone was way off and
Oh, yeah.
like whole doping thing. But I watched that. I never watched weightlifting before. I rarely ever watched swimming outside of the Olympics. And I was like putting my kids to bed and I had like my phone off to the side because it was so professionally done. Everything was tight, probably too tight. I know the weightlifters probably didn't get that much rest. I don't know anything about weightlifting, but
Me either.
the money that was being tossed around and the production and the storytelling, I was hooked. I was bummed out by like the swimmers being like 6 seconds off the world record. I'm like, what the heck, man? But
But
Or that
apparently
Fred
there were a
Curley
lot of
wins, and he was the only person apparently who wasn't on anything.
But there were
yeah,
a lot of PRs set by people that were over the hill. That was like the biggest thing is like you had people like, my age, 37, where they used to be good, like good athletes, good runners. And in their 20s, they set this and then they just beat a PR from their 20s and their mid 30s. Like that is actually a cool story. And I know they brought that up a good amount where, hey, this person was an elite athlete. They got to this level. Let's see. And then they beat their PR. Like that is going to be their big calling card is, hey, we can get you over your PR if you just use X, Y, and Z and come to our games.
I'm interested. I mean, first of all, I don't. It's so expensive to put that on, and I don't know where the money's coming from and how long it's sustainable. But like, if I'm a Noah Lyles, a guy who like really wants to try to change the sport, Noah's always doing outside the box stuff,
Sure.
I'm a fan of Noah's.
whether you, yeah, whether you think he's corny or not, like for him to have that kind of platform. I mean, how many people were watching track that never watched track? That's why I thought the enhanced games was a success, maybe not financially, but talking about these college meets with 15, 20 minutes, like there's got to be a way. You think a BU meet with 12 hours of 5Ks and like that doesn't move the needle on the sport. It's a
No,
tight it's a tight presentation where it means something and time. I understand with the enhanced games, everything was about time, but like there's got to be a way to not make it about time, and that's
Sure.
the only way you're going to get the casual fan, I think, involved in the sport.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, if they can do like an enhanced circuit that leads up to the enhanced games, right? Where if you have 8
Qualifying
meets,
time.
8
Yep.
exclusive meets, and whoever makes the points from these 8 meets gets invited to the enhanced games. And now you're having a bunch of juiced up psychos competing 8 times on your screen, telling stories. And I mean, it'll be awesome. Like, I feel like it could be fun, but that's how you also can get people like, listen, we loved American Gladiator. You think all of them weren't juicing? Like, out of their
Sure.
minds juicing. And we loved it, right? We loved watching, what was it, Titan, just throw everyone off to everything. Like,
Yeah.
so they can do this, from a purist standpoint. We look at it and we're just like, they're a bunch of cheaters. But I'll tell you right now, one of the buddies of the show, Aaron Spider Brown's just like, yo, the enhanced games call them the Olympics. Like, there's really no difference. Like, he's like, they just haven't gotten caught. So the
Or
enhanced games is
they're just
just an
openly
extension.
doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Uh,
openly doing it.
I mean, if you look at all the world records, over 50% of them are juiced.
Yeah, yeah.
There's just no way
The
around it. And
women's
there's
800 is pure, okay?
Yeah.
the is
No.
that the
The Russian
Russian? Yeah,
that looks
yeah,
like
yeah.
another version of quite literally. I feel like Bruce Jenner was trying to become her. Like she.
Yeah.
She's
But
strong,
even
man.
but even with sprinting, I mean, like you're telling me every single guy in the top 10 list except Usain Bolt was
Usain Bolt.
caught. It's just
And then but I mean, even high school now, like before every race, like you can look down and like all the tents, it's bicarb, 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 bicarb. So it's like, I mean,
What was it? A year ago, 2 years ago, when they had, I forget, it might
not
have
that
been like a
that's
Kenyan high
not
school meet where they
right.
had all the needles in like the bathroom that
oh
they
yeah.
found because every single kid at the state meet was like juicing. Like, that's wild.
I was at this Florida meet a week ago, and I had a few prominent coaches who told me that sprinters in Florida, and I'm assuming that maybe Texas and other fast state, without a doubt. Well, we saw one program right a few years back, but get
Yeah,
caught.
yeah.
But they're without a doubt juicing, which is kind of scary
It
for a
is for high school
16,
kids.
17 year
Yeah.
old. But anyways, I think this maybe veered away from my initial point with bringing it up, but which was like super cool presentation.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean the juicing thing is for sure a thing. But no, I mean high school kids are getting faster, not from that specifically. There's like the spikes,
The
No,
spikes, the
training.
technology, Strava,
training's
like, they don't
better.
drink or
Just
smoke, they don't do anything fun. These kids don't have fun anymore.
sure
Like,
they they
I
all
would
eat
much rather have
salads and
I would much rather have taken my
I
high
was at
school
McDonald's
experience
every
and
day.
continued to be slow than some of these kids right now, okay? Like, uh, I
I
don't
don't know
know,
about
like,
that.
when you're telling me
I would
you
have liked to
can't
be
I need
fast.
to have a cheat day for McDonald's, it's like, "Okay, bye." Like,
Yeah.
and
I don't know.
you know
I sometimes I meet some of these high schoolers and they're like super normal and
oh, I
there's
love
such
them. We have awesome
there's
ones on the
such a
show. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, exactly. There's such a big curve with
Oh,
there's like the very neurotic like type A like running is and I unfortunately I look back on my high school. I was like that a little bit.
sure.
Oh,
I wish
distance
I
runners are all insane. Like, we are all nuts. That's listen, I stopped wearing
We're all
socks because
quirky.
I calculated how much extra weight it added onto my mile and 2 mile. Okay. And my spikes. Like, we are insane. But
Yeah.
I mean, so did you watch the enhanced games? And from that standpoint, like you said before, try and take things presentation wise and maybe think like, how could I incorporate it into what we do live or eventually how we do it?
oh, I don't think we have budgets
Well,
that
yeah,
would
obviously, but in a more
I'll tell you. Did you guys see some of the Bandit stuff from this past weekend too?
I did not.
No,
Oh,
no.
okay.
What was that?
They did it was basically it was like a 1,000-meter loop in this warehouse in Brooklyn with it was probably like a million and a half production. And I think the Enhanced Games was probably, I don't know, to rent that facility out. And but yeah, I mean, they took their time. They store the problem with high school meets is that in order for high school meets to not lose money, you have to have like a critical mass. You have to have
Yeah,
like
yeah.
if you try to ask it, I'm sure you have a bunch of people who do events on your show. I've seen a few. If you bring like if you're like, I want to bring the best 100 kids, I want to curate this awesome experience. I guess they kind of do that at the Brooks meet,
Yeah.
and that works for Brooks because that's it's like a commercial for Brooks. But ultimately to take that much time to slow things down, to you're paying a venue fee, and it's challenging. But yeah, I think the number one thing was just put $1 million out there and your product will be great. Like $1 million for the win and the world record. That's it.
Now, have
Well, they offered 10 million now. They just offered 10 million for next Enhanced Games to break Usain Bolt's 100-meter record. Did you see that?
Oh, if I'm Noah Lyles, man,
that's hard to turn down, man.
yeah, you don't have to juice. Just
Or Arian
just
Knighton. Listen, I'm sorry. Arian Knighton's been caught once. Why not just go full bore and just go get
know,
it? If you go try,
I know.
like go do you listen. Arian Knighton was the
tough,
most
though.
promising sprinter before Noah Lyles. The kid was a high school monster. Like he was having Usain Bolt numbers in high school, no problem. And I
It
mean,
is
he's
tough though,
fallen
because
off a little bit. He's still
yeah, I mean,
fast, but
right. I mean, money's money, but people also don't want to be associated. Like, oh, you were only good because you took this or that. Like,
yeah,
there's
Marion
no.
Jones is so sad as a millionaire.
What
Marion
is
Jones
Marion
don't
Jones
care.
doing now?
She's a
She ruined
millionaire
her
sitting
whole.
in her penthouse.
No, she's
That
Marion
woman made money from
Jones.
Marion
herself.
Jones is not
She
a
made money.
millionaire anymore.
She had a lot of promotion. She made a lot of commercials back in the
Maybe
day.
then, but not now.
When I think of Marion Jones, I think about her crying on the screen, lying to
Yes.
everyone.
Right.
Like
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
to me, that's a little more disgraced versus like
Agreed.
someone who's just like,
Yeah, I got caught.
I'm good. Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. So
So I have a question for you. Do you have any you mentioned the shoe companies. Is it hard with all these high school kids having different NIL deals? Or does it help you that you're Trials of Miles and that you're not associated with any shoe company? Like, because I would imagine Brooks might have a hard time getting NIL kids who are sponsored by Nike. Like, how does that whole process work now that there's NIL involved with high school kids? Does that ever become a factor trying to get them to run in the meet if they're not sponsored by that certain company who's running the meet?
yeah, well, I think if the opportunity is good enough, if there's a good field and it's not, I mean, New York, Icon Stadium, windy, like, I don't know. It would be better if it was in LA in a perfect setup, but I think kids just want to go where the fast kids are going. They want to run fast. So Brooks PR, I think you're getting kids
You
where,
are.
yeah. Oh, Paige is going. She's a New Balance
Sure.
athlete. Yeah, when you set those races up, I'll always get like 2 or 3 calls from like agents about like what do they have to wear? What's the which like whatever.
Isn't that crazy though, that there's agents though in high school? It's nuts.
Well, some of these kids are making,
I know
I
$30,000 a year.
I don't know
Crazy.
what Quincy's making, but
I'm sure he's doing
Here's
very,
the
very
thing.
well.
I'm okay with the way high school's doing it because at least the agents are going to the kids and they're hunting for the deals, right? Where college, it's come to my college and my college is going to guarantee you an NIL. That is just a contract. That is a professional contract. It's
Yeah.
again, I've said this on the show before and I'll keep saying it until the NCAA actually does it. My understanding of the NIL when they first brought it in was I'm Dave Hyatt. I am a top five recruit. I
Thank you.
am going to go get an agent because I'm going to USC and I believe there's opportunities in USC for me to make money on my name. And my agent will go and secure these for me. The school is not allowed to get in the way. The NCAA is not allowed to say no. That was my whole understanding of the NIL. And now it's no, come to USC because we have a deal with Nike and I'm not picking on you, but saying, we have a deal with Nike and we're going to get you an NIL Nike deal. Like that to me was never, that is just a professional contract. Like the athlete should be the one going to get it, not the schools.
do you guys watch basketball or football or
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's awful.
it's the college? Oh, I'm a Seton Hall basketball fan, and we got to
Hey,
watch our
Shavar Reynolds.
guys.
That's Manchester's finest.
Oh,
Yeah. I know Shavar very well.
Shavar was such a great story, and that's That's why I liked going to game. I mean, we've had season tickets forever, but you get to see him come in. Shavar came in. He was sort of like he walked on, right? And then he makes his way up to being a starter. He's
Had a,
on an all Big East team. He's making like a
That 3
huge
he had
difference.
during the Big
one of the
East to
biggest
win
shots.
what that big 3 that was. It wasn't a championship. It might have been to get him into it. It was an incredible shot he made.
Yep, yep. But it's even worse. It's even more heightened at the college.
Yeah.
I mean, these
Sure.
guys are leaving Seton Hall and going from a $500,000 contract to a $2 or $3 million contract. Track, I would assume it's like all
Sure.
scaled down. But yeah, for sure. I mean, you're seeing the top kids all go to this one program, jump for another opportunity. They run a little bit faster, and then they leave college. And then, like I said before we hopped on the call, then you're sort of like, college is more professionalized, I think, than
Sure.
professional track.
Unless you are guaranteed to be a Diamond League invitee, you're
Mhm.
kind of screwed, right? Because the Diamond League, you go to the Diamond League, you make money. If you run 3, 4 of those meets, 5 of those meets, you get in the running to make the million at the end. Like, you're getting paid good to be there. They take care of you, they put you up. Like, Diamond League's no joke with that. But any other meet, the Continental Tour meets, you got
Oh
like we
yeah.
talked to Eric Sawinski and stuff like that, and he was like, as a pacer, they don't take care of him, and he's one of the most important people in the whole thing because he's the best pacer. He hasn't been doing it as much, but when we spoke to him, he was the best pacer on the planet. He was pacing guys through world record times all the time, and it's weird because we don't have another answer besides go to Europe. Like, it's insane.
No. I
So
I I was really rooting for I mean Grand
I was
Slams.
going to ask you about that. Like, what do you
Eh,
think happened there?
I
Was it
always
just
thought it was gonna fail.
too
I
much,
never thought it was gonna
too
be good.
soon? Like, were they guaranteeing too much money?
I mean, in hindsight, obviously,
Yeah.
I mean, they could have thrown 20% of what they offered, and it would have. I went to the Miramar one, the one in Florida. We did like a youth meet before the actual meet, and I thought it was awesome. And for nothing else, but there's no pacers. The races meant
It's
something.
just racing. It's
It's
racing.
racing, and the
Yep.
Philly one was even
Yeah,
better.
Philly was awesome one.
Philly was
Little
good.
did I know, watching Philly and you and everyone else,
Yeah.
we were watching a product that was, already minus whatever million, but that was I felt like leaving the Philly one, I'm like, "Oh, this is gonna be the answer."
But the Jamaican one killed it because to go to Kingston and have an empty stadium in one of the meccas of track and field was just a bad look. Whether or not, and also the distance races were bad for the most part.
They were
They
slow.
were uninteresting.
Well,
They were
because
either
because
incredibly slow,
there was an emphasis on winning, not on time. So that's which is
and I
great.
think
But
there needs to
I
be a
loved how everyone
contract
good.
in there though that if you don't run within at least this time, you're not invited back because you can't have that again. You can't have guys go out and jog and then
They were over
just
14
sprint
minutes.
into a 3:35, right? Like, you can't do that. That's no fun. Trackies like it because we like racing, but Grand Slam wasn't for us. Grand Slam was the attempt to get the outside person, and that's what we need. We need to start grabbing other people because the diehards are awesome. We pay for everything, but not everyone's going to do that. And to watch people sit there, and I watched one with my wife and we were watching the guys, and she was like, why don't they look like they're not going fast? I'm like, because they're not going fast. I'm like, they're jogging. Like, this is not. She's like, usually this is the 1500. They usually run faster, right? I'm like, much. I'm like, this is actually not fun to watch for me at this point. Like, that was always my gripe with it.
Yeah, NBC, I think, was the media partner.
Yeah.
They were like, and I know this from working with the meet, they pulled the plug. If you noticed, in Philly, there was no 5K
Yeah.
because
No.
I would
Just went
assume
3K.
they lost all, like, nobody wants to sit through that. My response to that is you just always have to make it elimination. Every 200, someone just gets, so like every 200, it's just like a
Whoever
surge,
in last gets
a
out. Yeah.
surge, a surge.
Ah,
That I think would be really exciting. But other than that,
Or do baseball announcing, right? I think track meets, like, baseball has the right thing on the radio because I'm a Yankees fan. Rest in peace, John Sterling. But man, it was just fun. You didn't listen to Yankees games to really hear that. You listened to it because John and Susie were great, but they just had a conversation every meet, every game for like 2.5, 3 hours. You heard it to hear their baseball knowledge, to hear all the stories, hear all that. That's what I think we need to transform track and field commentary to. It needs to stop being about this person, that person, this person. Sure, introduce them. That's
Well,
fine.
because
But then
the
start
average
talking.
person doesn't know what a fast 400 is going through for
But that's
50.
when you
They
start
don't
to
know.
give the conversations, you give the
Agreed.
history, right? And that's what baseball does so well. A good commentary team will tell you about the history and tell you why Derek Jeter hitting a home run on 3,000 means so much because X, Y, and Z. When they like, I think that's what we need to transform because it won't be as boring if you have John Anderson, who is a freaking savant and loves the sport, sitting there talking with, I don't know, pick great runner, Sonia Richard Ross. And for 3 hours of the meet, just having a conversation about track and field while calling the events as well.
Baseball has a formalized season, though. Track
That is true.
doesn't. So when you want to put it into context on a non-Olympic year, it's like, okay, Noah Lyles is running some random college meet. Sorry, I mean Noah. Of course, Noah's watching this right now live.
Oh,
Sorry,
yeah.
That'd be awesome. I know.
uh,
Come on the show, Noah.
but, he runs a random college meet. Then he
Yeah.
bops into I don't know, maybe he runs the street meet in Adidas, super cool meet. Then he goes to Europe somewhere. Like that's again Grand Slam. I was hoping could solve for that. You could sort of see the build up. You could do a record. You could do something where you're formalizing a season. And NCAA kind of does that, but not really. NCAA is, if I'm a distance guy, I go to BU and I sort of get in line and snooze fest city. And then outdoors, the regional system is like, you could follow it, I guess.
Okay. It's
Yeah.
okay at best. The death of the dual meet has killed the sport. I'm sorry, because coaches don't want to coach extra. It has hurt the
Get
sport
outta
because
here.
before
No
the
way.
dual meet mattered. The rivalries between teams mattered. Winning a conference championship mattered because you earned it
You
throughout
can still
the
win it.
year.
You just got to win it all in one day.
It's a joke, to be quite honest. It's a joke.
It was too much
Because
racing.
some teams don't care because they know that their best guys and girls are going to nationals,
Right.
so they
But
don't
there's
care
different
about
when
the
we're talking
competition.
about
No.
high school and pro. That's. I mean, they're not even up
But
in the
even in
same.
college, though, dual meets. Listen, a pro league where you had teams going at it in dual meets
Listen,
and you actually meant something would be awesome.
it was cool when we had on Dave Watto. He was talking about, when the Team USA went and faced Germany, like that's cool stuff, though.
Yes,
like they don't have that
exactly.
anymore.
We
Like
root for
I don't,
teams. We
I
don't
don't
root
miss
for
it on a high
individuals.
school level, but on a pro level, like us versus Jamaica would be
High
fun.
school level too. Like I listen, Dave. I know you're a coach. We have a lot of you guys that complain. Coaches are lazy right now. They're lazy.
Get
They don't
outta
want to do
here.
dual meets. Lazy. You
No,
just
dual
want to
meets,
do your
you get nothing
invites.
out of it. You get nothing out of it for your top
Then
kids.
you're not coaching correctly. I'm sorry. I'm being a dick right now, but I
You
got a
are.
ton
You are.
out of doing dual meets as the best runner on my team.
Nope.
I'm
I don't
sorry.
see it.
Like
I don't see it. I don't see it.
but you know what too? It's like, okay, then let's not give the kids anything to truly compete for besides fast times. Because that's what we're telling them.
Well,
Fast
that's what
times
it's
matter only.
that's that. Unfortunately, that's
Your
where it's
team
becoming. I
does
mean,
not matter because you're not going for a team anything.
you are
Except for
though.
like 3 times
You
a
got
year.
sectionals, you got counties. No, you still have your division meet. It's all on. It's over
I
2
know,
days.
but it doesn't matter. That matters zero. You
You
didn't
do
earn it.
see, speaking of some of these very good New Jersey girls that before
Yeah.
the call, you do see them going after it on their, at their conference and county. And
Yes. Yeah.
you could tell these coaches definitely value the
Yeah.
team
I mean,
piece.
why do these girls run 3 races in the sectionals for the team points?
Yeah, no, that definitely means something. But the higher college, yes. Why am I going to run? Why am I going to run my 10 flat guy at the conference meet for what? For he's got his qualifier.
Yeah.
And then if there's no pacer in the distance races, I know they still run it. I think at the Pac-10s and Big East, there, Marco is still running his conference meet, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how much it really means for those guys.
It doesn't, right? It all depends on who's there, but that's my thing with like dual meets. You're telling me that, or even if you go to tri meets, you're telling me that a Big East tri meet between Penn State, Michigan, and Ohio State won't matter, right? Like you're telling me those athletes won't get up just for that with their name on their uniform? Of course they will, right? They're going to compete. Are they going to go and try and set national records? No, but they're going to compete, and it's going to be an awesome meet to watch. So I don't know. Like for me, again, I've heard plenty of coaches who are happy about the death of the dual meet. They say, like Dave said, kids don't get anything out of it. I think a lot of these coaches are not
I
thinking
loved it
like
for younger kids, I thought it was fantastic because it didn't cost anything. Like the problem is that to enter now they have JV meets and freshman meets, which are fine, but it all costs money, and not every program has enough money to send all these kids to meet. So from that aspect, I liked it. But for the top, I don't know. It's just a different generation. Like everything's different.
But the bottom line is too, and I know people are talking about the top guy. If your top guy or girl in dual meets is running as hard as they can, then that's a coach's problem. It's nothing else. If you're
you have to now.
No, you don't, because you could
because everybody has a top kid. So.
But we always picked and choose. Okay, we're not going to have you go all out, and the kid you rarely raced against each other that hard unless it was a full.
Dual meets are not coming back, so
it's awful. We're going to lose the sport then.
We're not going to lose. Was a dual meets? Get out of here!
I'm telling you, it's part of it. I think it's part of it. Now, Dave, from the outside looking in, who's winning this argument?
I'm not a dual meet fan for top kids, but I look at the UCLA. They do a dual meet still.
I believe so.
I think they do one. Yeah, some schools still do. I know that some of the Ivies I think still do a tri meet or something and things like that. A few of them do.
Army, Navy. I want to say that they do a track meet, and I think that has some significance to it.
Yeah.
So that kind of stuff is, and even like Penn relays is not like a dual meet, but that, as we're talking, that's the one example where like time doesn't matter, winning it matters.
It's fun. Yeah.
That is the one and only meet that I can think of where it really does not matter what time you run. Your coach is. I saw I saw the Georgetown coach when Tenoda anchored the SMR. He was going nuts. Like, really, I mean, need more things that mean something where you don't have pacing lights or a pacer. It's just like, I don't know.
There should be some meets where a pacer is outlawed. Like they're not allowed. And there should be like that, like just racing meets. Because even in some like events that like are big, they have pacers. And I'm like, go race. Like, it's going to be fast. Go race.
I mean, honestly, like a lot of these kids, they don't know how to race because they just, everything's all out all the time. Just time.
You're 100% right.
So it's when they get into a race where they like go out slower, sit like they just go because that's all that they used to. It's like and they're obsessed. They have to run their PR every meet. I'm like, guys, that's not possible to run your.
And that's where dual meets come in. You learn how to race in a dual meet. I'm just throwing that out there. You learn how to race in a dual meet when you're not going all out, and you can do strategy, and you can figure out how do you know when to kick, how to kick. I don't know.
Alex wants to bring us back to like 1987.
Or just early 2000s.
That's what's super fun about the NCAA final, the Olympic trials final, US champs final. And
it matters. Top 3 matters.
It matters, and you're glued to the television. And even my dad, who doesn't watch track, he'll text me during those moments but those moments are so far and few. And we're talking about two times a year, and in some cases once every 4 years. So
yeah. So it's going to be interesting. So we have the Olympics coming up. We have them over in the United States. I was thinking about this earlier. We just had such a dominant stretch for Team USA, especially on the track, both men and women, for the last Olympics, the last 2 worlds. I feel like as we've been watching a lot of these meets, there isn't that dominance that I'm feeling. There seems like, mid distance, we were crushing it in the 800, the 15. It feels like
5,
even the 5 and 10 with Grant. It feels like people are starting to slowly catch up. We're not seeing our most prominent people. Maybe they're not running as much, but we're not seeing those giant results that we were seeing on the sprint side. Who do we have out? Melissa Jefferson, like we have her. Haven't seen her much though, right? Like, I don't know if she's raced yet this year. Obviously there's Noah, but it doesn't feel like there's that same fervor over the last 3 years. And as we're leading up to it, do you think we're going to be as strong on the track, both men and women, this Olympics?
I do. I think when it's time, they'll be there.
Yeah, I think US is the best. 1 and 2. You could argue Jamaicans on the female side.
I mean, Kashane Thompson is the world champion, so he did.
I think overall depth, it's definitely US because, like, I mean, there's no one over the 4 from Jamaica, you know?
And I
Yep.
actually
Yeah.
think that's where our NCAA system really shines in developing top sprinters. I mean, and
Yeah.
many
Yeah.
top sprinters not even from the US. I think the
A lot of them.
43 point guy, I think, was from an African country. But yeah, 1 and 2, the 400 always seems to be an event that has studs in kind of different countries, and almost with the 800 too.
Oh, yeah.
800 is sort of spread, but yeah, I mean, we have so many good 1500 meter and 5K. You know, it depends on, if it's a sit and kick race, we have 3 or 4 guys that'll be right
Yeah.
there.
100%.
On the women's side, it seems like there's a little bit more of a spread in the distance stuff. I mean, you have, I don't know how many American women can run 350 in the 15, or really any women in the world.
All right.
So
You
there
have a
just
few
seems to be
Brits
a
and
big.
Australians that maybe could
Oh,
get there, but yeah.
but I think on the women's side, like those who are dominant are more dominant than on the male side. Like there's no one like Faith really on the women's side. Like someone
My
who's
God.
going to win by that much. Like the men are definitely more like there are women that if they go, you're not staying with them. Whereas I feel like
Keely in the 800 is looking
I
unstoppable.
feel like Grant
Yeah.
Fisher can kind of almost run with anybody. He's at that point where he can run times that are equivalent or within a certain striking distance. Whereas there's no American woman who can run with Faith. Like it's like so. I feel like there's definitely women have less of a closeness in a sense. Like there are some more outliers on the women's side than there are on the men's side.
Yep.
I think.
But there's
Yeah.
also for the women, Valerie Ullman, who is just the most ridiculous discus thrower I think we've ever seen. I think honestly, in terms of dominance, I
She
mean,
might
you
be the most
have
dominant athlete in track and field. Her or Mondo.
yeah, her and Mondo right now are two, and I guess you got to throw in Sid when Sid's doing the hurdles.
Oh,
Like those three. Ryan Krauser's been battling a ton of injuries, and Jordan Geist just got a nice big win
You beat him.
over him. I
Past
think he
guest.
finished second, but he did beat Ryan in that one, which is great. We love Jordan over here. But yeah, no, Valerie is insane. I still don't think she's lost in like 3 years. I think it's almost 3 years. I think she has won every single meet.
And she's winning by like 10 feet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's amazing. So, do you think we're gonna clean up? You think we're gonna get the most medals again overall in track and field for all events?
Yeah.
Agreed. And we have the time zone to our favor. I understand
Yes, we do.
Olympics, everybody
Listen,
comes.
if you don't think that the Americans are going to be ready to go in LA, they're going to be chomping at the bit to run here in their own country. It's going to be insane.
And
Totally
the weather's
agree.
going to be perfect, so it does help. It's going to be hot though. Summer Olympics, it's going to be hot over there in LA. It's not going to be, but again, like you said, it's going to be okay. And I think that might be somewhat of the value of how we run things now too, because so many meets are run in California, some of the bigger meets. So a lot of these athletes are already used to running in the Coliseum, or places equivalent to that over there. So
Dave, I've a question for you. Do you think we'll eventually get any more track and field only facilities here in the States that are not part of a college? Like we have Aichen Stadium,
Icons
like
it.
Icon's it, right? In terms of track and field only that isn't used for anything else. Like I can't think of anything that's like a pro track. That's like the only one in our country, which is crazy.
Yeah, I think you're right. The nicest facilities I've ever been to have been colleges.
Sure.
We were at the University of North Florida last week, which actually has a bid for the Olympic trials as well. I hope they get
Nice.
it. Unbelievable facility, but yeah, I mean, I think the infrastructure is there in a lot of these colleges. To be, yeah, I don't think anything else exists.
Do you think that hurts a pro circuit coming here in the States, that everything would have to be at universities and not like in a track specific? Like when you go Diamond League, like those are built just for track and field over there in Europe. So do you think that we would need more of that for the sport to really take off, or do you think we can make it work with these colleges?
I mean, to use poor Grand Slam as an example again, I thought it worked extremely well. Were you guys at that Franklin Field one?
I was not there. No.
Yeah,
Should've went, though. I
you
didn't
watched it. I almost, as I was watching the races, felt like I was removed from the Franklin that I go to for Penn Relays or for New Balance National. So, no, I think a beautiful venue is a beautiful venue,
Yeah.
and I think it's less about the venue and more about all these other things that we've been chatting about, the stories and keeping it
Right.
to a tight program, and like how do you follow them from one thing to the next thing
Sure.
and formalizing the season a little bit more. But yeah, I mean, it is unbelievable watching some of these diamond leagues and seeing not an empty seat in the
That's
stadium.
awesome.
And in some of these European countries, maybe in the US we have too many sports. We have,
You think?
yeah, yeah. So, um,
And now they're adding flag football as a NJSA sanctioned sport next year.
Which I
it's
have plenty of issues against flag football. I don't want it.
I
First
mean,
of all, throw
it just
pads on the
takes
girls. They can hit. Let them play football. That's my number one. If you don't stop telling girls they're not allowed to hit, we do it to them in lacrosse. We baby them in so many ways. Women athletes can do their thing. Put pads on them. Let them play. Stop making the sport of football so soft. That's what they're
those
going for.
girls wrestling, right?
heck
It's
yeah.
Girls wrestling is starting. They're having their own
It's
divisions.
it's getting big
Yeah,
here in Jersey. They have a whole
yeah.
state champion, a whole tournament, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Honestly, I hate it, and I so many people look at me sideways when they're just like, "Oh, what do you think about women's, flag football?" I'm like, "It's terrible. Put pads on them. Like, what are we doing? Like, just let them play football. It's not football. it's flag football is not that difficult. And I know there's a professional league, and people will get mad at me, but it's like it's 7-on-7, and you can't hit each other. There's no fun. Like, it's fun to run around, but it's like let them hit. I
You
played
think
football
it's
for
you
10
think it's
years.
like a
Hitting's fun.
Yeah, I feel like that's an older group of that like old school mentality. Women can't be
Right. Which
can't
is
be
Well,
do
crazy.
you know what I mean?
lacrosse drives me crazy because it's not the same sport. And I know we're getting off here, but this is the beauty of track and field. The women and the men run the same sport because, individual, you can definitely do that. But in lacrosse, they don't let them hit. They don't let them stick check. They don't put any
Well,
like pads on them.
there was
It's
a
awful.
press to get the women running the 10K in cross country. You know,
I mean, that's the thing.
yes,
It's. I think it's plenty fine. And listen, if the women want to run a 6K instead, whatever, that's fine. If they want to do that, I don't care. But the bottom line is they can, right? Because it's all on time. They're competing against each other. Uh, but yeah, no, about that. These minor things piss me off, especially because I have two daughters, and if they're gonna go and be good athletes, I want them to do things to make money and not have to go and freaking beg for it. It drives me nuts. Considering we're on talking and ovals and our track and field sport's a beggar sport. So we it's not
You're not wrong.
it's tough. So speaking of that, how have you found a way to carve that niche of running meets, right? Because obviously you got to make money doing it. And it's, like I said, our
sure.
sport does not pay the athletes well, but in terms of running meets and stuff, is there opportunity for more people to do what you do in different places to kind of grow the sport? Because I think you're doing a spectacular job with the way
Oh,
you put your
absolutely.
meets on for trials and miles. And, whenever that is stamped on there, people know it's going to be a fun meet. There's going to be fast times, good
Right.
events. It's going to be run well. It's going to be
Great
music,
vibe.
great vibe. Everyone's going to kind of walk away happy from the meet, from the perspective of how it's run. Do you think, number one, there is enough opportunity out there for others to kind of, obviously you want to be everywhere, but you can't be completely everywhere yet. So is there opportunity for others to step up and do the similar thing? And number two, is there enough money in track and field for 10 of you guys to pop up around the country?
So we're just talking track and field. We're not talking road
Just
races or any of that other
road racing is
thing.
where the money's at. We've all heard this. We've heard this from so many people. At road racing for an athlete, at least, is where the money's at because they can do bigger purses. But let's just stick to track for now, and then we can maybe expand after.
Okay. Track just for high schools? Because what I found, not to go off topic, what I
No,
found
no, go
from
for it.
doing the Tracksmith Twilight series is that most people don't know that they want to be on a track running a mile or running a 5K, but when you create an atmosphere that kind of mimics what you get at a road race or at a big road race with music and food
Sure.
and all that stuff, those are really popular too. So at track night, where I saw Dave, we actually finished the night with like an hour and a half of just community miles. But yeah, I think the answer is for sure. I think we're in a unique position where we could take some risks on some of these meets. We have like enough things going on where if we lose a little bit of money on one, it's not going to like, you know, it's not going to bankrupt the business. But yeah, I mean, if someone is watching this and they're like, I want to put on track meets, like you have to cover your fees. And to do that, you need a lot of kids to come out. You know, you
Yeah.
can't just
Yeah.
like, but what I found is, you know, we have this series indoors called The Circuit, which
Yeah. Oh, the circuit's
is,
great.
thank you. Thank you. It starts with getting the faster kids, the more elite kids. And then, you know, I think there's a little bit more of just how high school track has become like all kids want to be fast now. You know, kids want to, you know, first time boy wants to break 5 in the mile and then he wants to run 440, wants to run 420. So I think by having these top kids and investing in bringing some of the top kids to your event, um, a lot of the other kids want to come, and then
Absolutely.
I think it has a little bit of a trickle down effect. You know, the first year we did the circuit, like we were breaking even in all these cities, just going like, what are we doing? And last year, I think all of them except New York actually sold out
That's awesome.
because, yeah, and I think it's like, you know, if nobody's ever put on a meet before, like how do you keep a time schedule while dealing with blocks and hurdles and
False starts and
false
injuries and
starts and pacers and
And
athletic training?
officials that aren't spry anymore because unfortunately our officials, and it's not to be mean to them. I love the officials we have because they're still giving their time, right? But
I was
it's not
watching
their fault that they're not 60 anymore. They're now
I was
90.
watching
Like,
two officials. I was watching two officials at the short conference in the pole vault, and it probably took them 4 minutes to put the bar up each time
Oh,
in between, and I just felt bad. Like when coaches were going over there and helping them. It was like
have you figured out a way how to pay officials better so we can get some younger ones to come? Because that's honestly too, because it's tough to sit there and say, hey,
they're all
we're gonna
retired. Yeah,
pay
they're all
you,
retired people.
we're gonna give you $80 and you gotta be here for 10 hours. Like that is a hard sell. And then and you have to do it again tomorrow and the next day because
But you
they're a
have
2 day
these
meet. And
the
here's
officials
$160 for 2 days. Ugh.
that we have in Jersey. Do they do everything right? No, but are they committed? Are they there every single week? It's the same people there every week, and
Yeah.
kudos to them because it's a lot of time,
You
and
don't see
they
your
from
family on weekends
I
for
don't
three
think
straight
they get
seasons.
paid much. I can't imagine
No.
that it's worth any bit of time for it. But
officials, yeah.
but it's like high school coaching. Like if you break down our stipends per hour, it ain't much. So like you don't do it for that. You do it for the. But like it's different when you're official because you're not coaching
But at
these kids.
least
You're not invested.
you're watching your
Right.
athletes
You're not
succeed.
invested
Like
as an
as an
official.
official, you have zero skin in the game technically, right? You
Right.
create relationships with people, but your skin
Sure.
in the game is to run a good meet and the love of the sport. Like, do we want to talk about people that love the friggin' sport? It's track and field officials.
But
Like,
do you think that that is a reason why we don't have younger officials is because of the pay?
100%. Officials are paid dog shit. It is the officials are the key to events running smoothly.
Mhm.
Yeah, we pay our officials more for the New Balance National Meet I've heard than any other event. You know, I think for some of the other shoe, they pay them like $100 a day for like a whole day,
Which is crazy.
and you're
That's nothing.
supposed and you go there and you fly your own way there because you get to put it on your resume because then you'll be chosen for other, you know, there's a lot of officials that I know that aspire to be at the trials or at the Olympics or, you know, so they're willing to like lose money often to go to these meets. And yeah, no, it's I mean, we just paid our officials for the Florida meet last week. And
so I will. So this is, I don't know how accurate this is because it is the Google machine and Google AI. But I searched how much does a high school track and field official make in New Jersey?
Oh, it's not much. Yeah.
And real quick, this is what it says. For a invitational, 10 to 20 plus teams, $116 to $140. You're there for 13 hours, right? These state meets, $120 to $200. Like, that is not a lot for what they do.
No,
Like, that's insane. I just
it's
had to share that.
it's like barely minimum wage,
yeah, no, we
even
pay our
less.
officials. I think we pay our officials on the upper end. We pay our officials. There's like a minimum 4 hours, and then they get paid every hour after that. Whereas most
Nice
meets just
flat
here's
rate.
here's $100 for the day. Yeah, it's yeah. I felt like we underpaid our officials in Florida last week, but apparently we gave more than all the other meets gave. I'm like, what? How do
So,
you?
is there a thought on potentially doing shifts for officials, right? If you know, okay, this meets generally 8 hours, right? Let's keep a set officials for 4 hours and a set officials for 4 hours. Let's pay them. Let's break it up and let's have them come in. And even if there's like overlap, right? We have three sets of officials that we're going to pay, but it's not something like that where it's not just the same person doing it that whole time because that's got to get exhausting for them as well.
I
It
think, I
is
mean,
tiring to do.
especially if you're out there, marking distances or you're
Yeah.
putting up the pull. Like, not every officiating job is the same. Like, if you're clerking and you're sitting down, but even when you're clerking, like, you got to deal with so many. You just got to talk to so many people and kids, and like deal with like coaches coming over and screaming at you, and like, I didn't highlight my kid. I'm like, well, you didn't do it. Like, but like, so
Was there ever a
they
thought on that? Maybe shifting them in? Like, obviously, the head official probably has to stay, and maybe he has a small group that oversees, like, okay, track, field, things, and that. Like, but having them not all be the same person, or would that be too hard to do logistically with a meet and knowing what's going on?
I mean, I think to your point, I just don't think that there are enough.
officials.
I if you talk to any event director, they're scraping to get officials to their event, especially if it's during
It's rough.
May when there's conference.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I think New Balance Nationals, I think we have like 60 to 70 officials, and they're like, they're rotating. I don't think, starters are rotating, clerks are rotating. But yeah, I mean, like, meet of champions. I don't know, was that like 2 to 9, 1 to
Something like that.
8, something like that?
2 to 7 or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, that's like for an event like that, like I think they're probably all
That's
happy
one
to.
unit, 5 hours. They could do five
Yeah, yeah,
hours,
yeah.
right?
That's
Like
Oh,
that's
yeah,
a tight meet.
but listen, I mean, it is a problem was like, especially if it rains, they had to cancel. They had to move the short conference, and they couldn't put it on the date that they wanted to because they couldn't get enough officials. We don't have meets over Memorial Day weekend now because we can't get enough officials. So it's affecting the meets and the schedule. Like, I don't know how all these meets are put on. Well, I guess if you do like a home dome meet where everyone's running the mile, like you don't need that many officials because you're not doing like jumping
That's
or
different.
like
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you probably only need 4 or 5,
There needs to be programs aimed at younger track enthusiasts, um, to pull them in, teach them the rules, compensate them, and without something like that, I mean, I think you guys have all been at track meets. I think if we go average age, it's definitely on the higher side, and yeah,
and getting higher because we're not getting anyone out, young
we
coming
work with
in.
a couple. We work with when we go up to Massachusetts. We do a lot of our indoor events there. There is a really, really good group of 30 to 50. I
That's
mean,
great.
but I don't think that you see that in New Jersey, in
No,
How hard is
Philly.
the certification process? Like for generally state by
it's not
state,
that
like what does
hard.
a person have to do? What do they have to pay? Because usually you have to pay to get this type of stuff, right? Like, so generally, what is it like in terms of becoming an official?
Good question.
I
We
don't know either.
shout out to Chris Forty. He is like the number one advocate for officials. He does all of our coordinating for all of our events.
You
He
got to give us his name because I would love to have him on to talk
Oh, you
more
got to get
about
him on. You
officials
got
and
to get
stuff.
him
Hundred
on.
percent, 100%.
He goes to bat for officials, for pay, for we have conversations like this all the time about how to get younger officials in.
So all I'm hearing is Trials of Miles needs to start having an official arm where they start to
Right.
get and get young officials ready to go and go into high schools. And hey, listen, Alex Cuesta will lead that charge. I will go into high schools and recruit young kids to be officials for Trials of Miles. Pay me to go travel around the Eastern
Oh,
Seaboard. I'll
man.
do this.
You want to be a what? A pilot? No, 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 no. Let me tell you, I got a cooler gig for you here. You ever seen a javelin? I mean, it's like, how do you?
You're gonna make $160 for 9 hours of work. Come on out.
Well, that's why Trials of Miles is doing it so they can pay them better. Only
Oh,
Trials of Miles officials. It will be only for your events.
No, I mean, but
And they
listen,
will
it's
actually make decent. Listen, here's the thing though, exclusivity matters, right? If you're sitting there and saying, hey, for Trials of Miles, we're going to carry 30 officials for ourselves only. That's going to be ours and we can grow. You will travel with us to events. You could pay them better, right? Because they're your officials. Where, we're getting so many different ones. And I feel like that's the NFL. And I know this is big, right? It's different potatoes. But even Diamond League, I can't imagine those Diamond League officials are doing much besides Diamond League for the season, right? I'd imagine they are Diamond League officials. Yes, they're certified in other places, but I think that's another thing that our sport's missing. Like you said, we don't have a league. So it's like we have zero exclusivity. But what does the NFL has? What does UFC have? UFC, they have refs for UFC. You cannot go ref at Bellator. You can't go ref at anywhere else. Like you are a UFC official. I feel like that would help. And again, I'm sitting there and you're sitting there going, yeah, I don't have $500,000 to keep 30 friggin' officials on my retainer. But it's
Yeah,
just a thought, right? Because you're something that is growing, that is getting such a good reputation where that could be a cool step where
Right.
it's like, you want to be an
Right.
official? Be a trials of miles official. We are the best. We run the best events. You come with us. You travel at the meets. We tell you to go. Boom. And that's something for a kid to aspire for, right? Like, I know I'm going to make a decent pay. I can make a decent living as a track and field official because you're running events year round. I don't know.
I
Spitball.
know. Then you're bringing them all to you're lodging them in Massachusetts and
Oh yeah, like I said,
Chicago
it's
and Philly when you have.
dollar signs everywhere.
Oh man. Yeah, I mean, but just sort of put a bow on that on the conversation. I think officials are just such a huge, when you go to a new market, when you do a meet in now Florida or Chicago, like you truly don't know what you're getting
Yeah,
when you
yeah.
go down there, and you're in some cases you're almost babysitting a little bit, and in other cases you're like, wow, they are so buttoned up. I don't even need to. So, um, yeah, but
Yeah.
I can imagine it's a little bit of an easier sell for a kid who wants to become an NBA ref versus a,
Track
Why
and
am
field
I?
official.
Yeah, why am I leaving my young family every weekend? What is my? That's the thing too. Like you need younger officials, but what is the incentive if you're a guy or a girl, you have a family, and okay, why am I leaving them every single weekend to go and referee an event? Well, that's the thing. Like you got to make it worth it.
Sure.
And retirees can do it because they love the sport still. They don't have as much going on. Gives them something to do every weekend, right? But we can't just keep on relying on retirees. I think that doesn't help.
I can't tell you how many events I hear. I get a lot of the info from Chris or from other officials where these officials are they're just treated like shit
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
because
100%.
the meet director is looking at their bottom line. They have 30,000 in registrations, and the venue costs 20, and if I only pay my officials 100, but you, and then all the kids and coaches are leaving pissed because I'm not going to call this one meet out, but like there were field events that didn't even have officials because they were trying to cut costs. So
Oh,
um, don't
how you gonna
don't
do that? Like
oh
that's
man,
cheating the
money.
kids. That's all that is. That is cheating the kids.
Sure.
Like,
People, yeah,
and
there's
Yeah, but
people in our world that don't care.
no,
that is
they
very true.
care about they care about the bottom line. They don't care about whether the kids have a good experience. They hey, how many entries do we have? How much money? Cool. You know,
It's
it's
So
just it's just
speaking,
such a dumb mentality because if you even if you break even or lose a little bit of money, but everyone has a great experience
they'll be back.
5 years later, yeah, and I don't think a lot of people have that kinda like
well,
far-sighted.
because they want the instant gratification, right? And like you said, when it was just you and your partner in the beginning, you guys were grinding. You guys were putting in the work, knowing that, okay, and like you said, the circuit basically broke even. And now because it got such a good reputation, you've been loaded. You've probably made back, and I don't know what you made, but you probably made enough to sit there and go, okay, let's do this again next year. Like this has been worth it, right? It's all about the patience. And if you put on a good presentation, people will want to go back there. Like Dave gushes about all your meets. Like
They're awesome.
whenever
They're
there's a
great.
trials and miles thing going on, Hyatt knows number one, I'll probably see Alfano there, and that's awesome. And number two, it's going to be a good meet. I'm going to go there and it's
Always.
going to be well run, and my kids are going
New
to be
York meet
happy. I'm going to
was
be happy.
my kids could not have been happier at that meet. I mean, it was the weather was great. The vibe was awesome. And they were just pumped out. Like we're running in the same stadium that they're going to have the U.S. trials in. Like it was just cool for a high school kid to have that experience. Music was blasting. But you guys do right. Like everyone got like bibs with their names on it. It was
Yes,
cool.
dope.
It was cool.
Cool.
So, speaking of experiences, I want to ask both of you, did you guys hear what the IOC president, Christy Coventry, just said about Olympic athletes?
I did not.
Oh, this is going to be fun. Okay. So, she was quoted as saying, I don't believe in paying athletes. I still don't think we should be paying athletes at the Olympic Games. They get beautiful venues. They get beautiful villages, which is like cardboard beds. It's hilarious, and they get a beautiful experience. And she got a ton of backlash, and she clarified that they shouldn't be getting prize money. So, do we think that Olympic athletes should just get the experience and not the prize money? Dave Alfano, I'll let you start with this one.
I mean, anyone who watched that and didn't have a reaction that this woman is an idiot.
And just mind you, they passed up Seb Coe for this woman. Seb Coe was in the running to be IOC president, and they picked Christy Coventry instead.
Yeah. Now, I think I don't think it's as simple as just saying she's an idiot. I mean, the Olympics is a very expensive event to put on,
Of course.
and there are certain sports. You win the 100 meters at the Olympics. Is that worth the same thing as badminton? I don't not to get into one is worth more than the other, but yeah, you got to pay the Olympic athletes
Right.
to get there, to be top 3, right? I don't,
I think because so many Olympic sports don't have good pro leagues, it is important that they get like it seems like a little bit of money. Like I don't know what the prize money is. If it's $10,000, $20,000, but that's a lot to some of these athletes, right? That
Sure.
there isn't a good pro circuit in, I've talked to people that are like swimmers and they're like, oh, I don't want to be a swimming pro because there isn't one really. Like, unless you're Michael Phelps or you're someone great, you're not.
But they make all of their money during the Olympic years.
And it's those sponsorships that you get, like,
Sure.
and the things too, like Letziel Taboho is a god now in Botswana.
So, does she want to go back to like? So does she want to go back to like when like Pre was running? You have to be AAU. So what? I don't. So are pro but they are pro athletes. Like they are pro athletes. Pro athletes should get just like any other profession. When you compete or do your job, you should be compensated for the work that you are doing.
I think what often happens though is these athletes, even if you don't have a contract, you're not a Nike athlete, you make it to the Olympics, a company is going to pick you up, they're going to give you a contract, and you're going to make money for medaling as it is, without even getting that IOC money. But if there's 100,000 people in that stadium paying $70 to $150 a ticket, I want to say that there's going to be some money there to, right? I don't know the numbers quite.
You would think, yeah.
And the thing is too, it's like the IOC isn't paying all this money to put on the event. Like they pay money, don't get me wrong, but it's the countries that pay the money to build these stadiums. It's not like the IOC is paying these countries. Like when Qatar had the Olympics, like Qatar did it all. Like they put all that stuff up, and the IOC doesn't bail out some of these small countries when their economies collapse after having this stuff. So it's like for her to sit there and be concerned with paying a few hundred athletes, a few $1,000s each. Like the IOC makes a lot of money for what they shell out in terms of paying. So, and a lot of countries pay a lot of money to do the bids as well, the bidding process. It's not just, hey, I want to do it. They are paying to get into this process.
You got to put on a whole presentation. You got to
put on a presentation, and they're not only paying for the summer games, they're paying for the winter games. So it's like a lot of the same countries are going after it again and again. So I don't know. I think it was the best way to put it is tone deaf. Like you're telling a bunch of athletes that don't make a ton of money in these Olympic sports, you don't have to get paid.
Right. Now, listen, do I think you have to pay the NBA players? Probably not. But I mean,
they're there too.
No, yeah, you should. But like, it doesn't matter to them. But like to some of these athletes, right? Like, this is what they, this is everything. This is their ticket. I don't know. You're right. I think tone deaf is a very good way to put it. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, why? Like, why even open that whole thing?
Like, you made it to New Balance. We're not going to give you a medal. Just say you got first. You just got here. You're not getting anything for going here. You get no hardware. That hardware is expensive. Enjoy the experience. Like, you don't even get a bag.
You don't get a backpack, which is the only reason why all the kids care is they just want the freaking backpack. It's unbelievable. They're like my kids were so mad that we went to the Nike indoor nats and they got some like duffel bag rather than a backpack. And I was like, does it matter? Like, yeah, coach, it matters. I'm like, okay, sorry. I didn't realize that.
I used to love the duffel bags in college. Like that was my favorite, getting the new duffel bag from the coaches every year.
No, but, let me ask you, like,
bags are dope.
How much goes into designing those bags? Because the kids love it. Like, do you have any say in that, or is that like a New Balance thing for
No,
themselves?
they have a team, higher pay grade than I, that makes those decisions. But yeah, they that has become. I mean, that's why these shoe companies do what they do. It's they're just giving these kids just unbelievable experiences. The bag is
Yeah.
part of the experience. The bag is part of the experience. The cold sparks is part of the experience. The
Yeah, yeah.
photo walls, all that stuff. But yeah, sorry for the duffel bags. That sounded traumatic for the kids.
I mean, Under Armour just got in. Theirs
I
is
thought it
all
was
like
nice.
white. Their Under Armour one is different. It's like all just like white with like gray. Like that's. But again, it's like now we have 4 national meets. Like, do we really have any national meets? Like, not to be me. I know you guys put on New Balance and Trials of Miles. I get it. And here's the thing: New
New
Balance
Balance
is the
is
to
the best
me
one.
that
Yes.
is has always and always will be my championship. Right? The New Balance was the one indoor. I've always turned to Nike. Outdoor, it's always been New Balance. It's just how when I was coming up, that's what it was. But now it's like, to me, yes, you get a lot of kids that get a lot of great experiences. They have 4 friggin' national meets to go to. It's fun. But at the same time, I'm looking at
Five,
it going,
five meets. You
Yeah,
have
Under
well,
Armour.
they have Adidas, Under Armour, New
Puma,
Balance,
Nike,
Nike.
and Brooks. I would call Brooks is kind of like a national championship. I mean,
It's
maybe
a
they don't.
national meet, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Elite
like a
national
semi
meet.
nats. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Jesus Christmas. So it's like that is a lot. But to me, it's like, okay, did we really find out who the best runner in the nation was? Like, it's hard, especially because now you're looking at different conditions and things like that, especially in outdoor. It's like, at least in indoor, you can
everyone's.
kind of argue it's indoor.
Yeah, yeah. Well, so everyone's an All American, right?
Yep.
No, it's even at the youth stuff. It's even worse. But yeah, I mean, it just goes to show how much
Interest there
money
is. Yeah,
is.
and
Well,
interest and money, yeah.
yeah. I mean, I think shoe brands are trying to capture these young kids at a young age to make them lifelong customers. So, and that's why high school. That's why like high school track, I think is the most popular. There isn't, and then college, and then
Yeah.
pro.
Yeah, pro. Yeah, in air quotes. And that's also why I've been doing my virtual championship, the big meet. We just wrapped up the cross country version. I'm working on the indoor version because I'm going to decide who the national champion is by looking at performance lists, and I'm going to decide which state's the best by scoring it like a meet. So I've been working on that. I have the girl side going on the indoor one. I'll be finishing up the outdoor, do it a little different, release it as I get it done. But yeah, no, because I'm tired of not knowing who a national champion is.
You gotta
I'm a
have
grumpy old man.
you gotta have weather conversions. You have states that don't get warm weather until, I mean, maybe ever. I
Well, yeah. Yeah. And well, the
Alaska,
thing
right?
is too, it's interesting as I'm doing indoor, it's like I'm looking at it, it's like Texas and California aren't factors. And it's like weird because like it's Texas and California. Like even Florida, like they don't run indoor. They do it every once in a while. So I'm like, as I'm doing it, like
But
there's
when
like
they do run indoor, they run indoor very fast.
some of them, but really they don't care. Like honestly, most of those states don't
Well, yeah,
care.
they're
So it's like
they're
whatever to
outside
them.
all year round, yeah.
Come outdoor though, it's going to be interesting once I do the outdoor one because I know it's going to be a very different type of setting. But overall, we need to continue to grow this sport. And Dave Alfano, you are one of the main cogs, whether you know it or not.
Absolutely.
You, Charles and
Especially over
Miles, and
here,
what you are
East
doing
East
are one
Coast.
of the main cogs in growing the sport. And the last 2 years that we've seen an explosion and a boom, you guys are right in the thick of it. So, Dave, thank you so much for coming on, brother.
I appreciate the words, man. Means a lot.
It's all true.
Yeah, so we appreciate Dave for coming on. Make sure that if you see any event that has Charles and Miles attached to it and you can attend it, you absolutely should go. Go, be a fan, experience it, and fall in love with track and field. Go to that. I'm putting a high bar on Charles and Miles, but it's a good bar because they deserve it.
Oh yeah.
And just definitely make sure you go there. Now, Dave, what events do you guys have coming up that we could talk about?
Oh man.
Let people
Well,
know.
if you live in New Jersey, you can hop on a track in Montclair, track night Montclair, community miles and 5Ks with pacers, whether you agree with the whole pacing thing or not. We have and then if you want to run on the roads, we have the Montclair Mile. That's in August. That's like a really fun kind of like block party style road mile.
Nice.
And then if you're on the West Coast, we have the San Fran Mile. That's a new event, point to point. Yeah,
That's fun.
trialsofmilesracing.com. We have a lot of new events coming up, and as a New Jersey guy, I've been really excited to kind of buff out our New Jersey series. There's a lot going on.
Love it.
I love it. And I have to make sure that I get this. And so I'm going to stall for time for a second to make sure that I get this website up here because we need to have, hello, that's me. I don't want that. Oh,
Nobody does. There we go.
if you want to go, there it is. trialsofmilesracing.com. And if you want to know what's going on, you can click on the events.
It's cool.
And yeah, this looking awesome. I love the posters and stuff. These are looking great, Dave.
You guys have a great website.
Yeah. I think we need to clean some things up and make it
Field 5K. I do love that.
That's on my block. That's like a block from my house.
Is that really? That's amazing.
Yeah. Halloween is a little crazy around here.
Now, here's a question: is Dave Alfano going to lace them up and run the event?
I don't know. Are you guys? Can I throw it on you guys? Are you guys doing some more?
I am not running. But
no, I don't run anymore. I barely move.
I jog a little here or there, but no, I'm.
It's got to be hard. I mean, running the like I always like. It's funny, like when you see like every meet that we have, like our short conference or county, like there's always the host school, right? And they always say how it's great to and honored to run it, but you don't get to actually coach on those days. Like, you know, like you're so busy worrying about anything else that you don't even get to actually coach your own kids. So it's so tough to run a meet and still have to like be involved in like the actual competing or having kids there. It is tough.
We have for most of these events that you see on the screen, we have kids dashes. So my 4-year-old has been running them. So
nice.
I'll jog with him. Man.
That's great.
That's awesome, man.
That's some feel good stuff. So, but
so I will give you my only gripe as I go to the shop. You have some cool stuff. I don't see a straight up Trials a Mile shirt. And I am a person that likes being branded so I can wear them on my show. Where is the a lot of places are doing this. They're not just getting like the plain. I want a Trials a Mile shirt. That's all I want, Dave.
One of our full timers brings it up all the time that we need to have some merch, and I don't know. Yes. I didn't think anyone would actually buy it, but maybe I'm wrong.
I will happily a shirt, a hat. You would make it. Listen again, and this is not to go back. Your reputation right now would cause a lot of people to want to wear your merch because you're doing a good job going to an event. And I remember one of my favorite things as a kid was always getting a shirt from an event. And if they could sit there and someone can get a Trials a Mile shirt and they know they're going to be there again. I mean, I think you guys should absolutely just get some merch with just something simple. Trials of Miles Racing. Doesn't have to be crazy. Boom. I know I would rock it on the show. So cool. I'm always a person. I love getting that type of stuff. So Trials of Miles Racing. Let's
appreciate that.
Get your team on that. Get your team on that. Damn it.
Definitely.
But anyway, we appreciate, Dave coming on. He's awesome. Get myself off the screen here. And we appreciate him. He's awesome. What he does is awesome. My co-host Hyatt is also awesome. You have Meet of Champs coming up. Ace is running. Who else is competing in it? Anyone else?
For us, Ace made it in the 100 and the 110 hurdles, and Brenna Gordon made it in the 200. So
nice. And shout out to any and all of our past guests who are competing this week. It's crazy to think that we have a good handful.
We have some kids who could certainly win it that we've had on. So.
We have some kids that, obviously Siani, we are pulling for her. But we have a lot of, Paige, we're pulling for Paige. I know Leah personally, Alex Lynch and everything like that. So pulling for Leah to do some awesome stuff. So everyone, I didn't mention
I'm pulling for everyone.
Yes.
I'm pulling for everyone. Even though I might coach against you, this is the Meet of Champs. Go for it, man. This is all about the kids and having fun and just showing who's the best at their craft. And listen, this is why we love this state of New Jersey, because we're one of the few states that has an actual champion that shows who the best of the best is. Like we've had people on the show saying that like they go to college and like, oh, you're state champ. Yeah, you and like 10 other people know. In New Jersey, you are the actual state champ. Yep. It's a cool thing. I'm glad that they figured out the whole thing with nationals so that kids can actually go compete at Meet of Champs, not have to worry about
which I say we had something to do. We had, I think we were
We
on
did get on the NJSA quite a bit. Yes.
and when we had Mike Mooney on the show, I think that's what
The
broke the
official.
camel's back, because Mike Mooney's like, we all said we would work on Memorial Day. And at that point, NJSA was like, all right, we have no
Unofficial, yeah.
excuse anymore. I guess we actually have to fix this. And Dave, I don't know if you were on when we were starting all that, but every single person we had on that was from New Jersey and was a great. Did you like Meet a Champs? What was your greatest memory from Meet a Champs? Should NJSAA take it away? Should they?
They were
fix
talking
it?
about getting rid of it for a while, which is crazy.
So
I was following some of the they had it a day before nationals. Is that what the issue
it was
was?
like 2 days before. It
No, no,
depended on which nationals you were going to.
One
Some of them
year,
were the same day.
you had kids going from Meet a Champs to nationals, and they're like same day,
just flying right out.
Yeah.
It was
but
crazy,
like I mean, you know, like, and it was like, you know, being from New Jersey, like you want kids to pick Meet a Champs, but you completely understand, like,
Can't
this is the
blame
national
them.
championship, you know, like
It's
Nats are
tough.
gonna.
It was tough to ask the kids to choose. That was always the toughest part.
No,
But
and the whole thing was like,
outside
why
of
do they
that,
have to choose? You know,
yeah. And now they don't. Now they don't.
Yep.
So good luck to everyone at Mox. Also, I'd be remiss if I did not mention the Bella Mile. We need to give
Yes.
love to Diane and what the Bellas and Motion are doing. They put on the Bella Mile every year over at CBA. It's on the 6th, right? So it's coming up. Is it the 6th, Dave?
It's this Saturday. Yeah.
This Saturday. So the Bella Mile, if you have not signed up yet, you could sign up. Just go run a mile. Go have some fun. It's
I have a
over at
couple kids running
CBA's
from-
facility in Lincroft,
which
It
is a beautiful track.
gorgeous facility. We had Coach Torchia commenting earlier. We didn't get to. He said trackflation. We're throwing you up there, Coach. But definitely go if you have not gone already and signed up. Go sign up. If not, just go there. Go root for everyone. They just run a mile. There's a bunch of people that run a mile, and it goes in flights. It's always a good time. So 100% go there, sign up.
Yep.
We're hoping for an awesome event like they
be
put
there.
on every single year. So outside of that, we're getting out of here. So I thank everyone for watching wherever you watch from. Make sure you follow us. Make sure you like, you subscribe, all that good stuff. We will be back next week, as always, on Monday. Everybody, so long. Thank you so much.